So how is it going, guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your own arena fights within Fallout 4. Now this is something that I should have made a few days ago, considering I have been streaming a lot of this stuff, but at the time I thought I'd just stream the content rather than making videos. So today, due to popular demand, I'm getting a bunch of you guys in the comment section asking me, how do I set up arenas, and do you know any tips for setting up arenas and stuff. And that's why I thought I'd go ahead and bring you guys this guide today, going over some of the basics that you should know, and hopefully this video will help you guys out. Now when it comes to arena fights in Fallout, there's a bunch of different ones that you can choose from. For instance, you can do creature versus creature, and you can set up this huge brawl where it's just like a bunch of creatures going at each other in a crazy battle. You can do creature versus settler, and then you can also do as well settler versus settler for the final one. And all these work in a little bit of a different way. Of course, it just depends on which one that you're going for, and I'm going to be covering all of those within the video, starting off with creature versus creature. In my opinion, this is one of the easier ones to set up. I mean, all of them are kind of time consuming, but this one's just a little bit easier in setup, as you don't have to be moving around settlers and stuff like that to actually get the fight to commence. So of course, with every type of arena, you need to start off with a basic structure. As you can see by the gameplay in the background, I do have this kind of huge elevated platform arena that I did build in the mid-air of pretty much above Spectacle Island. And this is what I was using on stream. I was using this to kind of create these huge battles and have them all face off against each other. But just for preference, I'm going to put a smaller one inside of this, just so you guys get a bit of a general idea of what's actually going on. And of course, with arenas like this, it's down to your personal preference. You can build it however way you like. I end up going with a basic square structure, as you guys can see there, just by simply putting down walls. And then of course, once you've built the kind of main area where you want to put this stuff inside of, as you guys see there by the gameplay, you also want to build an elevated platform as well, where you can spectate the fight from. So go ahead and build some stairs maybe on the outside or something, and just make some form of an elevated platform where you and your settlers can actually go ahead and spectate the fight. Once you've got your basic design or structure down, however which way that you want to have your arena, it's now time to put the creature cages down inside of there for you to then go ahead and capture them. So for the gameplay in the background, we end up doing like a 4x4 of large creatures. In the corners, we put down some medium cages, so the raider cages will go in the corners, and then in kind of like the lines or the 4x4s, we'll have the Yaoguai, the red scorpion, the Deathclaw, and of course the Mylurk, the four main creatures in there that would actually have a fight with each other. And of course, we do this on each side to make a square, which is kind of the design that I end up going for. Once again, you can do this in any which way that you like. This is just more of a basic kind of tutorial. Not going for anything too fancy with this. I'm not going to make it look good. I'm just kind of going over the basics here, but that is what we ended up going for. And of course, once you've got your cages down inside of there, it's now time to start powering everything. So to start things off, put down a generator somewhere in the area. So of course, I do suggest the fusion generator, as it's now one of the best generators that you can place down within Fallout 4. Once you've got your generator down, what you now want to go ahead and do is place down a switched power pylon, and this is basically the switch that you're going to be using to open up the cages and initiate the fight. So go ahead and place that down in a good position for you. We ended up elevating the kind of spectator platform, as you guys can see, to kind of go above the actual cage fight, so we can actually see it a lot better. And that's where I ended up placing the switch, as you guys can see by the gameplay in the background. Once you've got that placed down, simply go ahead and hook up the generator to the switch, and then what you want to do is hook the switch up to any of the cages in the arena. Now, if the cages aren't too close, you can simply put down some conduits on the walls or something and connect it up that way, but just go ahead and connect the switch then to any one of the cages. And basically what this does is it will power the cage, or the power will run from the generator to the switch, and then when the switch is turned on and green, the power will then run from the switch to the cage. And all you have to do from there is simply hook all of the cages up together. As you guys see I'm doing by the gameplay, just simply connect them all together, and the power will then run through all the cages at once through the switch from the generator. And that's pretty much the basic power setup for this. It's also good to note that you may want to have down a beta wave emitter as well, and you can simply hook that straight up to the generator if you like, exactly how I have. And that is pretty much it. Once you've got all the power running, you have everything pretty much set up at this point. If you want to go ahead and add some traps in the middle, feel free to do so. That's what I ended up doing in the gameplay. I ended up putting down a bunch of those kind of pressure plated spike traps. On stream I had all these sword blade traps going as well. It can really spice things up and make things a little bit more interesting. So once again, that is of course down to your personal preference there. And at this point, you are pretty much done in terms of the setup. All you now need to do is simply place a bed down and sleep in the bed. And it can take anywhere between, I believe, 1 to 7 days of sleeping. It usually takes around 3 to 4. And every day that you sleep, there's a chance that you would have captured one of those creatures. So if you go ahead and check, you'll notice that when they're captured, the door will be closed. You'll hear a bunch of banging going on and stuff. And I just keep sleeping over and over again until you eventually have all of the creatures captured and you are nearly ready to start the fight. Once you've got all the creatures captured, I definitely suggest making a quick save just in case you want to alter anything real quick before the fight, or even afterwards. You can simply load back and try it again and see who wins the next time. But from here, you are pretty much done, and all you now have to do is simply pull the switch. Once you've pulled the switch, simply sit back and watch as the chaos commences. The one I've built here is very chaotic. There's a bunch of stuff going on. You have them all fighting amongst each other. Some of them running into the traps and stuff, which is pretty funny as well. And in general, it's just straight chaos. I mean, you can create some weird stuff like this. I'll once again show you guys a few of the clips from the stream, and it's just complete chaos. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys out there will be able to create some much better arenas than I do, and really come up with some creative stuff. Now, when it comes to settler versus settler arena battles, it's a little bit different. And what I mean by different, it can be a little bit more of a hassle to get this going because the AI system in Fallout is a little bit kind of weird. Sometimes you'll have settlers that will just walk into walls and they won't do what you want them to. But either way, it's pretty much the exact same for the initial setup. You want to have a basic kind of structure in which you want to put the arenas down into and have the fight commencing. So go ahead and do that. As you can see by the gameplay, this is what I've got going on here. I do have the kind of spectator part at the back this time. And all you want to do is you want to put down the arenas in the cages section in each corner. So for instance, the blue team will go in one corner, as you can see there, and then the other red arena will go in the other corner. You also want to place these down in the right way. In fact, in the gameplay at this point, I placed them down backwards, so when the settlers got onto the actual arena itself, they was facing the wrong way. So later on, I actually ended up switching it around, as you guys will see. But once you've got the arenas down, you now want to go ahead and kind of wall off those arenas and put a door directly in front of it. And the reason why you do this is because when you have the settlers kind of assigned to one of the arenas, they instantly fight each other. So you want to make sure that they are kind of boxed off first and they're blocked by a door and stuff, so the fight doesn't commence before it should do. So once again, once you've got them both walled off perfectly fine, you are now on to actually assigning your settlers to an arena. So to do this, or the best way I found doing this, is to simply put down a gathering bow somewhere. The gathering bow can be found in the resources in the miscellaneous section. And basically when you pull this down and ring the bell, all of your settlers will come to that location. Now the main reason why this is good is not only can you of course have all your settlers grouped up there, you can actually have them sit down and spectate the fight, and as they're spectating the fight, they'll start cheering and waving their arms and stuff, which is pretty cool. But you can also go ahead and easily assign them to the red or the blue team. So just go ahead and do that, go into workshop mode, simply click on a settler that you want to have fight and assign him to either the red arena or the red team, or the blue arena or the blue team. Once you've assigned one, what you now want to go ahead and do is make sure that he's inside of there properly. You want to make sure that he's blocked off, make sure that the door is closed, because once again, as soon as you assign somebody else to the red team, they're going to fight straight away if they see each other. So you just want to make sure that they are blocked off beforehand. You also want to make sure as well that once again the arenas are facing the right way. This is the point where I ended up switching the arenas around and actually placing them properly. And you want to make sure that the arenas are placed in a way where the settler will stand directly facing the door. You want to have him so the other settler across from him can see each other when I open the doors. That is essentially one of the only ways you will get this to work. So that's what I ended up doing by the gameplay. From there, once again, just simply assign another settler to the red arena and make sure both of the doors are closed before you commence the fight. Now, in terms of the doors, the way I've got these they are powered doors. Of course, these powered doors are brand new with the Wasteland Workshop. And all you want to do is you want to hook those up once again to the switch. You can either use conduits to get the connection going, of course, all the way around. And just connect that up to a switch and then connect the switch up to a power source. You also want to make sure as well that you have the quitting time siren down, which is in the miscellaneous section and the cages section again, just in case you need to use that. But that is pretty much it for the setup. You know, once you've got that going down, once both of the doors are closed, both of your settlers are in there, you can now commence onto the fight itself. And once again, placing down traps is totally down to your own kind of personal preference. This is the setup that I went with for the traps, and they don't really work. You'll see now why they didn't work for me is because I had the settlers there shooting at each other. If I had it where there was fist fighting, those traps would have come in handy a lot more. So as you can see, simply pull the switch, boom, both doors open and both of the settlers commence in a fight. And once again, because they are using guns, I have one of them kind of sitting back in his own arena trying to shoot at the other guy, while the other guy does actually come out to the middle a little bit. Even one of the guys actually ended up running into one of the traps and dying, which was quite funny at the time, but you guys get the general idea. This is just the basic idea to go after. This is in no way a necessary great arena kind of style that I've gone for, but just a bit of a general idea of what to do and how to get it set up, and that was the main purpose of this video today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video or did find it helpful. If you did, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. You guys have been smashing the likes, guys. If we can try and continue that by smashing 2,000, that would be awesome on this video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.